welcome to my Ninja Turtles channel. This is the Ninja Turtles Show, your weekly live stream every Turtle Tuesday, covering Ninja Turtles news, toys, cartoons, movies, comics, and video games. Basically, whatever the show we want. And today's show is no different. Today, our main story is about the upcoming 2023 AAA Ninja Turtles video game. I think I stumbled across the first piece of news, first piece of direction about this game, and I stumbled across a little bit of evidence in an interview with Townsend Coleman. Townsend Coleman is the original voice of Michelangelo from the 1987 series, so this might be the first piece of news we have on the direction of the 2023 AAA Ninja Turtles video game. Also, we're going to be talking about my progress in the Cowabunga Collection. I've been playing a lot of video games and I beat 5 out of the 13 games so far. We're also going to talk about the global progress of Cowabunga Collection, what games have other people beat. And we're going to talk about IDW Publishing, the home of the Ninja Turtles comic books. They recently announced they have a new CEO, new leadership, possibly a new direction. We're going to take a little look. We're going to look into the new CEO and we're going to find out. Also, I wanted to share with you an animated fan film from Likens, from Johnny Likens. It's a really cool animated fan film. And I wanted to share it with you. It's only 16 seconds long, but we're going to go through it today. So it's going to be a great show. And before we get started, I wanted to let you know I upload a scripted video every Saturday, in addition to this live stream. And last Saturday, we had a video about a 4-foot-tall, custom, colossal Raphael action figure. And this Saturday, we have another new video. This Saturday, it's going to be about the original Leonardo Micro series from Mirage Comics, way back in the 80s, my favorite comic book. And I'm proclaiming this Saturday that it's the best Ninja Turtles comic book ever, so make sure to tune in this Saturday. And make sure to follow me on rumble.com/myninjaturtles channel. Rumble is a video platform just like this one, and I have a channel over there, and I'm going to be launching some exclusive content pretty soon. So make sure to follow me on Rumble. Also, tell a friend about my channel. Tell a friend about my Ninja Turtles channel. Make sure to like the video, give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to my Ninja Turtles channel if you're new, turn on notifications to see when I post a video, and most importantly, leave a chat, leave a comment. I like to see your chats, I like to read what everyone's thinking, and I like when I see you guys answering each other's questions and chatting about the Ninja Turtles with each other. So make sure to leave a chat. Actually, leave a T in the chat right now. Let's type a T in the chat, everyone. How about T for Turtles in the chat? We'll get the show started off right. T for Turtles. Here we go. And speaking of comments and chats, I wanted to talk about a comment I got last week from Gen X. Gen X posted about the 2003 show. He wasn't sure if the DVDs were available if there was a complete box set for the 2003 series. And it's a little bit of a long answer, so I figured I could just answer here. But the 2003 box, there's no complete series for the 2003 show. There's some individual DVDs, some complete seasons, but it's a lot of broken up episodes into different DVDs. So it's a little bit tough, so I recommend watching it on Paramount Plus. The whole series is available on Paramount Plus for streaming. So that's a little response to a comment I got. And the first thing I wanted to talk about after getting through that is the Cowabunga Collection. It's been out for a couple weeks now. Cowabunga Collection. So pretty cool stuff in the Cowabunga Collection. It's been out for 2 weeks. I've beat 5 out of the 13 games. I beat the first 2 Nintendo games and the first 2 Game Boy games, and I also beat the first arcade game. So 5 out of 13 games. So that's my progress. And I saw it was available that the global progress is available to check out. So if you want to see what games other people have beat, these are the results. So about 20% of people have beat the original arcade game. 1 out of 5 people have beat the original arcade game. And I've been playing this game for about 14 or 15 hours now, and I've beat the original arcade game. Haven't played a lot of Turtles in Time arcade game yet. That's the next game here. You can see 15% of the people have completed that game. And I'm not sure if those 2 arcade games are first because they're listed first in the game. Maybe they take the least amount of time, maybe they're the easiest, maybe they're the most popular, but you can see going down there, there's some SNES games, the Game Boy games, the original Nintendo games. I beat the original Nintendo game very hard. And then down towards the bottom, you can see the Tournament Fighters games are all in the bottom 4. Tournament Fighters apparently not very popular or very difficult. The one-on-one fighting games, pretty tough to beat. So it's interesting to see who's played what games and who's beat what games and what the distribution is. I thought this was a neat chart, and this was from Steam, so I'm not sure if this probably doesn't include Xbox and PlayStation people and Nintendo Switch people, but I assume the distribution's pretty similar across all the different platforms. I don't know why one console would have a different audience than another, but pretty neat to see which games are most popular, which games are hard to beat, which games have been beat by the most people, which games have been beat by the least people. So I thought this was an interesting chart. And the next thing I wanted to share, speaking of Ninja Turtles video games, of course last week, a lot of Ninja Turtles people spoke about the news in Ninja Turtles video games that came out in Toy World magazine. It's an insider industry magazine. And there was some news about Ninja Turtles video games in 2023. I saw some other Ninja Turtles channels and Ninja Turtles podcasts had reported on this as well. So we reported on it last week. Paramount had an article in the magazine sharing their plans for 2023 and sharing their plans for the Ninja Turtles in 2023. They mentioned a new movie. They mentioned some new toys, probably based on the new movie. And they also mentioned some video games, Shredder's Revenge and Cowabunga Collection. So just a little paragraph devoted to the Turtles in their article. And in the very last sentence of the article, they let everyone know that they will launch a brand new original AAA game in 2023. AAA TMNT game in 2023. Oh, I just realized your chats aren't on the screen. Let me turn those on. How you guys doing today? How's everyone doing? Let me say hey to everyone before we move on any further. JR24, Tyron, Mr. Turtle, Celeste, welcome. How's everybody doing? So, they announced they're going to have a new AAA TMNT game in 2023. And I thought this was interesting. There really hasn't been much more news about it, though, unfortunately. And I was listening to a podcast over the past week, and I think I may have stumbled across a little more information about it. And this was in the Talkulture YouTube channel. Talkulture is a YouTube channel. They've got a few hosts. They do interviews. Really cool stuff. A lot of variety. A lot of variety about the type of guests. A lot of cool voiceover guests, acting, music people. And the guests they had on recently, they've had on Cam Clark, who was the original voice of Leonardo from the 1987 show. Great voice actor, Cam Clark, voice of Leonardo, the original Leonardo from the 1987 show. And recently they had on Townsend Coleman, who is the voice of Michelangelo in the 1987 show. The original voice of Michelangelo, the guy who created the kind of surfer attitude to an extent. Great actor, great voice actor, 1987 show. He's done a bunch of other stuff, but of course that's what we know him for. And he had a great interview, very fun, very cool interview, talks about a lot of cool stuff. Townsend Coleman actually went by the name Scott in college. I thought that was interesting. He didn't like the name Townsend. And he mentions also that he's been doing some voiceover work for video games. He mentioned his appearance in Shredder's Revenge as Michelangelo. And he also mentions a couple other things. He mentions that he drops a little hint he may be involved in another Ninja Turtles video game. He drops a hint that he may be involved in another upcoming Ninja Turtles video game. And when he starts talking about this upcoming game, he gets very careful about his words. He speaks a little slowly. He starts and stops a couple times with the little factoid he shares. And great job to the two hosts, of course, Kid Cadet and Ace Johnson, for letting this happen. They let him speak about an upcoming Ninja Turtles project, and he may not have the job yet, but he talks about upcoming video games, so I just wanted to set up this clip with Townsend Coleman there on the bottom, and he's talking about video games and voicing video games, and he mentions an upcoming video game that he really can't talk about, and I think he's talking about the upcoming AAA TMNT video game. So let's play the clip, and then after the clip, I'll talk about what it means. Here we go. Here's Townsend Coleman on Talkulture, talking about voicing Michelangelo in Shredder's Revenge and possibly voicing another character in an upcoming Ninja Turtles game. Here you go.
Okay, I'm changing my answer to the last video game I voiced, which was Shredder's Revenge. So there you go. Here, duh. I'm thinking, because I'm thinking I haven't done video games in ages. But then, hello, that was the last one. And there's actually, there actually maybe I might. Okay, so there might be one in the works somewhere that I can't talk about.
Okay.
And I will just say that maybe that might be where I'd love to live.
Interesting. Okay.
We'll keep our eyes and ears peeled then.
Okay.
Yes.
So that is interesting. It's about a minute-long clip. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully you could hear it okay, sticking around. But he mentions he's going to be possibly involved in an upcoming game. And of course, I thought he could just be voicing a random character, but why would you get the original voice of Michelangelo to voice any character other than the original Michelangelo? So it led me to believe that Townsend Coleman is going to be involved in the upcoming AAA Ninja Turtles video game. And I would think he's voicing Michelangelo, which makes me think 1987 Michelangelo is going to be involved in the upcoming game. So I don't know if the whole game is going to be based on the 1987 series, if it's going to take place in the 1987 universe, or if it could be some sort of Turtles Forever style game, where maybe each level involves a different kind of turtle or something, a different Turtles universe. But we haven't had like a recent game that really fleshes out the 1987 universe. And it's pretty apparent that they're leaning into the 1987 show. They love the retro stuff. Ever since Transdimensional Turtles, the merchandise, Shredder's Revenge, and even Saturday Morning Adventures coming up. Saturday Morning Adventures is the upcoming comic book that's based on the 1987 series. And they're really going straight at it. They use the same logo, and they've even openly stated this is from the 1987 series. And I don't know what the rule is with copyright and who has the rights to what, but maybe they're going to create new stories in the 1987 universe. I bet they don't have the rights to the 1987 show. That's why it's not available streaming anywhere. But maybe they can create new stories with the 87 cast in the 87 universe, and that's available. So I was thinking that could be an interesting way to go. They're leaning into the 87 series, they're launching the Saturday Morning Adventures, and I wouldn't be surprised if the game is based in the 1987 world or contains the 1987 world, like I mentioned. My second option, if it's not purely based in the 1987 universe, the Ninja Turtles upcoming AAA game could be kind of a Turtles Forever game, where Turtles Forever, of course, is a movie came out in maybe 2009, and it contained a bunch of different versions of the Turtles. They had the original comic Turtles, they had the 1987 Turtles, and they had the 2003 Turtles as well. In the upper left, you can see the 2003 Turtles. So it had them all. And you can see that there's a lot of variety with this choice. You get the classic comic book Turtles, you get the 2003 Turtles and the 87 series. And that was back in 2009 when Turtles Forever came out. So I wouldn't be surprised if this video game kind of takes the Turtles Forever tactic, and each level is based in a different world. One is the comic world, one is the 2003 world, one's the 1987 world. And there's been a few versions of the Turtles since 2009. There could be a level based on the 2012 series. Or they could have a level based on the Rise series. They could just bring in all the Turtles for a Super Smash Bros. Game with all the different versions of the Turtles fighting each other. And they could also bring in the IDW comics up at the top there. They already have the original Mirage comics. Why don't they bring in the IDW Turtles for this game? We know Townsend Coleman. We think Townsend Coleman might be voicing a character in it. Might be voicing Michelangelo, I would assume. So I think the upcoming AAA Ninja Turtles video game will feature Townsend Coleman voicing Michelangelo. And I think Townsend Coleman is going to do a great job voicing Michelangelo, and I'm excited for this upcoming AAA game. I don't know what type of game it's going to be, if it's going to be an RPG. A lot of people seem to want a Arkham-style game, like an open world or a GTA kind of thing. Some people want the side-scrolling beat-em-up, like the action-adventure where you can tap a multiplayer with all 4 turtles. Some people want just like an action-adventure kind of game, something more straightforward. But we'll see who he voices. Probably Michelangelo. Let's see your chats here. Let's put the chats back on screen. Celeste says, maybe Mondo Gecko. Yeah, he could voice Mondo Gecko. Maybe something that takes heavy inspiration from the 1987 show, says Mr. Turtle. Tyron says, why did the Cowabunga Collection use TMNT 2003 music in the intro but not include the 2003 games in the collection? I do not know. I saw a couple other people pointed that out as well, and I hope they eventually make another collection with the 2003 games and the Game Boy Advance games and all that stuff, and even the 2012 games. That'd be really cool to have a second Cowabunga Collection, but probably be a few years out. And SR Striker says, I wonder why the 2003 Turtles weren't in the 2012 series. I am not sure either. They referenced the 87 series, but of course skipped, Next Mutation in 2003. Mr. Turtle says, like Tyron said, Nick hates 2003. JRR, do you think it'll be cool if a Smash Brother game using the Archie Comics characters possibly also have TMNT be guest fighters? I think that'd be awesome if they had the Mutanimals, and we got Null, who else? Jaguar, Dreadmon, whole bunch of cool characters from the Archie Comics. So, pretty cool. Could be a beat 'em up, maybe the Rat King 1987. Yeah, Townsend Coleman voiced the Rat King in 1987 as well, right, SR? But pretty cool stuff. So that's a little piece of news about the new upcoming AAA Ninja Turtles video game coming out in 2023. Townsend Coleman, original voice of Michelangelo from the 1987 show, could be voicing Michelangelo again in the game. So we will see. That would be my guess. So those would be my guesses. I would say it's either purely based in the 1987 world, or it's like a Turtles Forever kind of thing, or also there's an outside chance that Townsend Coleman is a voice in the Seth Rogen movie, and the upcoming AAA Ninja Turtles video game is going to be based on the upcoming Seth Rogen movie. But that would be my third choice. I would say it's going to be an 87 based AAA game or a Turtles Forever style game with different levels, represent different versions of the Turtles. So that's enough about Turtles video games for now. Had a lot of Turtles video games on the mind. I've been playing the Cowabunga Collection a lot, and this news about the AAA game was pretty exciting. So the next thing we could see, the next thing from the Turtles, has to do with the comic books. IDW Publishing, the publisher of the Ninja Turtles comic books. Oh, SR Striker asks, is this the theory? Yes, the theory is the upcoming AAA Ninja Turtles video game will contain the 1987 Michelangelo. So I don't know if it'll be just 1987 Michelangelo or if that'll just be a part of the game. So that's the theory, I don't know. I wanted a catchy title. Was it a catchy title? Was it provocative enough? I should have done more clickbait. But next piece of news, IDW Publishing, they do the Ninja Turtles comics. They have announced a new CEO. IDW Publishing, of course, like I said, they publish the Ninja Turtles comics for the past 11 years. IDW has been around since 1999, and they're the fifth biggest comic book publishing company behind Marvel, DC, Dark Horse, and Image. So they're very popular, and a lot of their comic books are based on pop culture stuff like TV and movie licenses like Star Trek, Star Wars, Ninja Turtles, who else they had? Back to the Future, Transformers, Sonic the Hedgehog, My Little Pony, a bunch of other kind of TV and movie related stuff. A lot of pop culture and a lot of stuff based on video games and cartoons. And a while back, I did a video about IDW, and I complained about IDW management actually about in February or March, I posted a video, IDW management is out of the office. And I pointed out that they were still working remotely, they were still out of the office, and I made a comparison that they were physically out of the office and they were mentally out of the office as well, that they weren't managing the company well. I came out guns blazing, shots fired, attacking IDW management. This was the thumbnail for the video, and I pointed out in the video that their stock price in the past 5 years had plummeted from over $50 down to $2. So it's a pretty rough stock price to go from over $50 to $2. That means if you invested $50 5 years ago, your $50 investment would be worth $2 today. So that leads me to believe it's just one metric about how a company's doing, but it leads me to believe the company might not be being managed so well. And I wanted to point out that since then, the stock price has gone down in the past few months from $2 down to $1.66. So even if you invested just a few months ago, you would have lost a quarter of the value of your investment. If you invested $200, it would be worth $166. And I said that was thanks to IDW management. So I wasn't surprised when they announced that they have a new CEO. And all this kind of goes back to 2018 when IDW co-founder Ted Adams stepped down as CEO. This was back in 2018, about 5 years ago. And he was an IDW co-founder, like it says, and he had been a long-time CEO. He had been in that role for a long time. And he stepped down as CEO, and he was replaced by veteran TV executive Carey McLuggage. McLuggage. It sounds like a fake last name, doesn't it? But that's who they named as their CEO of their company. It's judgmental, but I would have a tough time naming a CEO McLuggage. It sounds fake, but that's who they named as CEO back in 2018. So this is their first new CEO back in 2018, and he lasted from July 2018 all the way till February 2019. Less than a year. And Howard Jonas replaced Carey McLuggage. Howard Jonas was the new CEO in 2019. And Howard Jonas was the CEO of IDW publishing the Ninja Turtles comics in 2019 all the way till 2020, when Howard Jonas was replaced by Ezra Rosensaft. So, new CEO pretty much every year. Howard Jonas was out and Ezra Rosensaft was the new CEO of the Ninja Turtles comic book publishing company, and they took off 2021, maybe because of the pandemic, they took off the year of naming a new CEO and having new leadership in their company, but in 2022, they came back and they named a new CEO just a few weeks ago. Alan Grafman, new CEO. They have a new CEO every year, 5 different CEOs in the past 5 years, a lot of changes in leadership. And it must be tough to have those changes in leadership, especially when the company is bleeding value down from over $50 down to below $2. So that's not good news. And it's not good news when anyone leaves a job after 6 months a year, or even 2 years. That's a pretty quick turnover if you ask me, especially for a CEO of a big company. And to put things in perspective, IDW has lost $5.4 million in the most recent fiscal year. $5.4 million loss. This is a company that's been around for over 20 years, like I said. And sometimes companies grow and they change and there's a changing landscape. Maybe people aren't buying comic books physically, they're buying digital, who knows? But it's rough to lose $5 million in a year. And there's turnover of their CEO. It's like those Wikipedia band timelines where they have a new drummer every 6 months and there's all this fighting in the band and they get new drummers and people are quitting and coming back and reunions. So it's their CEO is like one of those Wikipedia band timelines. They've had more CEOs than Guns N' Roses has had drummers or whatever. So it's interesting to see how a company acts when their stock price goes from over 50 down to, it was at 125 back in July. So over 50 down to 125. And just in the most recent quarter, it appears that IDW has lost $2.3 million in 90 days. So past quarter, 3 months, $2.3 million loss. And it worries me. I know this business stuff is kind of weird and boring and seems kind of irrelevant to the Ninja Turtles, but if this is the way they manage their company, it concerns me. Maybe this is the way they're managing the Turtles. I've liked the Ninja Turtles comics. They've done a lot of good stuff. In the past 10, 11 years, they've done a lot of great stuff with the Ninja Turtles comics. And it just worries me that we could be getting more. I've really liked what they've done, but when I see this is the way they manage the company the past 5 years, it concerns me that we could be getting more out of the Ninja Turtles. We could have multiple series, we could have a different direction. Maybe the series could be more popular. But that was the news about IDW getting a new CEO. I don't know how relevant it is to all of us, but I just thought that was interesting, and who knows how much of a direct effect it'll have on the comic books. Probably not a lot. There's a lot of other people there, but I know over the past few years they are no longer, Bobby Curnow no longer works with IDW, the great editor Bobby Curnow. And that's a sad loss. That's a big loss. So whatever they're doing is not good. If you lose Bobby Curnow, it is not good. Whatever you're doing is bad. So I would say the management didn't do a great job the past few years. They didn't do the past 5 years. Didn't do a great job past 5 years. Losing Bobby Curnow, a lot of turnover, 5 CEOs in 5 years. A little sad. But they've got a lot of stuff coming up. Like SR Striker says here in the comments, the Armageddon game is coming up. And I think they're going to complete the Armageddon game. I don't think they're going out of business anytime soon. I think they'll be around for at least another year or two. I mean, probably definitely more than that. But I think they'll finish the Armageddon game, and maybe like Last Ronin, it'll have a little bit of a bump of increased interest in Ninja Turtles comic books. And I'm not sure how popular comic books in general are right now. I know comic books go in and out of popularity. Sometimes comic books are really cool. Sometimes they're not cool. Sometimes people are burnt out on the Marvel and DC comic book movie stuff, and sometimes they love it. So we'll see how the Turtles' popularity is right now. I know they're really pushing for Turtle Mania in 2023 again. So that could be pretty exciting. Turtle Mania in 2023. And maybe it's good news that they're moving on from this CEO to a new CEO. It's probably good news. So that is the story of the IDW Ninja Turtles comic book publishing company. New CEO. And the next story I have, the next little thing I wanted to mention, is an animated fan film. And this is something I saw was posted on Twitter, an animated fan film. Here you go, I'll play the clip for you before we get started. Pretty cool. I'm going to turn off the background music I have playing here, and I'll play it full screen so you can check it out. I'll play it full screen and I'll turn off the background music here. Pretty cool clip. Pretty cool animated fan film. Saw it on Twitter. It says, "Nobody puts Donnie in the corner." And I just ripped this off Twitter, so I don't know what the best, it's probably not the best quality, but I know Twitter compresses their videos and stuff, but this comes from Johnny Likens. I'll pause the music here and play the full screen clip. Here you go. Pretty cool, huh? Pretty cool clip, huh? So it looks like it's Donatello, kind of a 1990 version of Donatello. Reminds me of the 1990 movie, and it looks really good if you ask me. I don't know how it's coming across on the stream right now. Like I said, I ripped this off Twitter, which compresses their videos, and I'm streaming at a certain level, and then it's picked up at a certain level. So it doesn't do it justice. It looks a lot better if you view it directly from his Twitter page. Like I said, the guy's name is Johnny Likens. And it looks really good if you ask me. This is just kind of an animated fan film thing, and it's about 16 seconds long. It just loops. It says it's test footage. So I don't know if this is just a clip from something else he has planned or if this is the whole thing for now. But it looks really good if you ask me. Donatello looks fluid and smooth. He has a kind of a unique look, but he looks a lot like the 1990 movie. Looks a lot like the Jim Henson suits. And he posted a clip a while back of his process of making it, where they don't have any like color or texture yet. And he says, "I like turtles, work in progress." And it looks really good. I'll play this one full screen too, so you can get the full picture of it. I don't know how it's coming across on the stream, but it looks great in person on his Twitter profile. I'll post the link in the description and you can check it out. And JR24 says, "Looks like he may have scanned the NECA toys." I agree, it looks a lot like the 1990 toy. Looks more like the 1990 toy instead of the 1990 movie. It looks a lot like the toy. And it's a really good clip. I think it's a really, really cool animated fan film. Honestly, I think it's really exciting. This is cool stuff, and doing a CGI version of those Jim Henson suits, they have a lot more flexibility in the expression they can show. He can blink, he can move, he can furrow his eyebrows, he can have his eyes dart around, and it's really interesting to see all those little details that you can get away with in CGI that you can't get away with in a physical suit. Like there he kind of grimaces a little bit, and he scowls, he blinks. Looks really cool. And the foot soldiers look cool. They're kind of a mix of all different kinds of foot soldiers. They remind me of the 1990 movie, but they have this cool tech upgrade. And they look cool. I don't know if they're robotic or people, but they look really great. SR Striker says, "What do you think about the theory of the 1987 Rat King being a Vietnam veteran? Because I watched this theory on the Heath Ledger Joker theory." I'm not sure if Rat King is a Vietnam veteran. I know in the comic books he was portrayed as just kind of a wild and kooky guy, maybe a mentally ill guy, maybe a crazy guy, maybe had some sort of supernatural thing going on, but maybe he's a veteran who becomes homeless or something. Yeah, maybe could be true. I'm not sure of the background on that. A lot of cool Ninja Turtles theories out there, and a lot of cool stuff going on with Ninja Turtles like this fan film. And Donatello kind of reminded me of the 1990 movie. Like I said, they have that kind of look, like the Jim Henson Turtles, the old school suit Turtles, and they look really good. The rubber suit, they look really cool, and I think this animated fan film does a great job improving on that look. I would say that Donatello, with his white bandages on his arms and legs, as you can see here, looks a little bit like the Next Mutation version of the Turtles. The Next Mutation Turtles had white bandages on their arms and legs. They had white wraps on their arms and legs. And the Next Mutation wasn't the best show, but I thought the white bandanas were pretty cool. I thought this was a cool addition. So I like when new versions of the Turtles have stuff like this, like the white wraps, and it can be easy to overdo it. I would say the 2014 movie, they probably had too many accessories and stuff. But overall, I think this is a really cool design, and it's a really cool animated fan film. So hats off to Johnny Likens. Great animated fan film. I'd like to see more. I would love to see more. This stuff is really great. And this is stuff that just makes it fun to have a channel like this where I can talk about cool Ninja Turtle stuff and share with you guys, share cool Ninja Turtle stuff I come across out there in the world and on the internet. And I like doing videos on this kind of stuff. SR Striker asked if I could do a video on Rat King being a Vietnam veteran. Yeah, I'll check it out, and if there's something to do a video on, I'll definitely do it. Sometimes I have an idea for a video and I do a bunch of research and I'll end up with like a 2-minute video or something. It's just so frustrating and defeating to do all this work and then it ends up being like a 40-second short or something, but I'll definitely check it out. I think that's a cool thing, and it'd be cool as like a what if theory. I know there's some villain movies coming up in 2023. There's some Ninja Turtle villain-centric movies coming up. And I think it'd be awesome if Rat King was... I think it'd be cool if Rat King was one of the villains they focused on. That'd be really cool. So, that's the clip from Johnny Likens. Really cool stuff. His Twitter name is Johnny Love. And it says he's a director and designer. And the clip has about 40,000 views, 50,000 views. So, very popular stuff. Hats off to Johnny. Great job. 50,000 views on Twitter. Deserves a lot more. You can see it has like 2,500 likes. Really cool stuff. And Joe Curious Torrent says they love the 1990 design because they were created in the style of how they looked in the Eastman and Laird comics. Especially you can see that with their expressions. I agree. Love the expressions of the original comic books, the grimace. And I love the 1990 movie. They did kind of look like the original comics in 3D. They had a little bit of that, a beak instead of a nose. There we go. This kind of looks like the original. Cartoon Turtles in the center there. It's the Turtles Forever version, but yeah, a lot of different designs of the Turtles and a lot of cool stuff. A lot of different versions, a lot of variety. Everyone has their favorite version of the Turtles, and people that create new versions of the Turtles, that must be a gift and a curse. They get to do whatever they want with the Turtles. It's kind of a blank slate, but at the same time, they have to do a new version of the Turtles. They can't just recreate something from the past. So that was about it for today. Just 4 stories. We talked about the Cowabunga Collection. We talked about the clip from Townsend Coleman speaking about an upcoming Ninja Turtles video game. Townsend Coleman speaking about possibly featuring a voice in the upcoming Ninja Turtles game. We talked about IDW, publisher of the Ninja Turtles comic books, getting a new CEO. And we talked about the Johnny Likens animated fan film. So, pretty good show. Hope you guys enjoyed the show today. It was nice. I'm happy you tuned in. Thank you for chatting and commenting. And shout out to the replay gang, of course. And I would like to tell you to tune in this Saturday. New scripted video coming out. New scripted video this Saturday about the Leonardo Micro Series comic from Mirage, the original one-shot Leonardo. The original Leonardo one-shot comic back from 1986. I wasn't reading Ninja Turtles back then. I could tell you that. Wasn't reading Ninja Turtles in 1986. I read this comic for the first time in 2016, so before my time, but really cool stuff. 2016 to 1986, 20 years, so whatever. Oh my gosh, I just did math on channel. 20 years, 30 years. Oh, how embarrassing. Well, scripted video this Saturday. Original Leonardo comic coming out, and if I don't see you on Saturday, I'll see you next Tuesday for the Ninja Turtles show. Thanks again for tuning in to my Ninja Turtles channel. I will see you later. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching. Feel free to leave a comment and share this video. Make sure to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more Ninja Turtles videos like this.